welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week we're going to continue our series on the Goetia with the 22nd spirit of the Goetia Ipos. So stay tuned. But first, hopefully, Bob?
Greetings, this is Remy the Raccoon. I am stepping in while Lena is hunting down Bob. Check out the online courses and live Zoom workshops at WorkingDragonMystic.com. Just click on the online courses tab. Also, consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel subscriber. Each tier gets special members-only perks. Woohoo! Or check out our merchandise like coffee cups, woo, coffee, art, travel mugs, and more. All links can be found below, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you are notified anytime there is a new video or live stream. Unlike me, I forget things a lot, so I need notifications. That reminds me, where is Bob? Bob? Bobby? Bob? Oh well, I'll remember sometime. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Okay, so clearly Bob is still AWOL. I have a feeling they'll find him though. Alright, well, if they remember to find him. Alright, so let's get to talking about the 22nd spirit of the Goetia Ipos, shall we? Now, I've been getting a lot of comments and feedback on this series and how much you all are liking it, and I highly appreciate it. And I've been getting a lot of requests to do very specific spirits or questions asking when I'm doing said spirit. I want to be clear, I am doing these spirits in order as they are presented in the Goetia to avoid any favoritism or bias. Pretty simple. Now, we have been roughly spacing them about, I'd say every 3 weeks. We may, depending on filming needs, we may try to do a few of them back to back, maybe do like a kind of a Goetia spot or period. Many of you know I got a large move coming up. If I don't have the videos to fill in the time I won't be able to record, I may fill it with Goetic spirits in order to help move us along, because this is a fun series. A lot of people seem to like it, but unless that happens, you can expect one about every third week or so, give or take, roughly. It's roughly. Alright, because this is the YouTube, I got to film what I got to film, and I only got so many things I can film. So, but as far as order, I will be going in order. Alright, cool. Now we got that. Let's get to talking about Ipos. Okay, I've always heard it pronounced Ipos. I have heard a few people pronounced it Ipos. I've tried that pronunciation in ritual. I didn't get good results, but I have to admit that's probably because it didn't flow very well linguistically with me. Ipos just seems to flow better for me pronunciation wise, and that flow can be important in a ritual. So that could be what got me tied up a little bit there. Now, basic appearance of the spirit in the Goetia is referred to as he appeareth as an angel with a lion's head, goose's feet, and a hare's tail. I love this description because it points out here appears as an angel. Now, in a lot of lore, so-called non-angelic beings can't appear as angels. Not all lore, but some. And I have constantly gone in and talked about how I refer to these as Goetic spirits, not Goetic demons, because by and large they're not really demons. Many of these would qualify as full-blown angels. Ipos here is actually one of them. Even his appearance is very head-on to some of the classical imagery of the more biologically leaning angel art. Now, that said, myself and other magicians, when calling on him, the angelic appearance with the wings and stuff seems to be pretty much blanketed. Everybody seems to agree upon that. The lion's head, I've seen it. Not all the time, but I've seen it. Usually I see him with a head of really curly ass hair though, so even with a human head, he seems to have a pretty good mane going on. Best I could describe it, what am I saying? If you look up like the original Lethal Weapon, not Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is a good director though. Mel Gibson, that full curly kind of thing he had going on, very similar to that. So, you could say he had a mane. Goose's feet. I've seen him occasionally with birds' feet. Yes, they did resemble a goose, so maybe. Hairstyle. Never seen him with a hairstyle. I'll be honest. I've never seen it. But then again, I don't go around checking out entities' booty. So that could be, I just missed it. I don't know. Never seen it. A few magicians have claimed to have seen it. A few magicians have even said that the aspect of the hair, like the ears or some of the quick movements, he's shown that before to them. I've never seen him in those aspects. Those are just things a few magicians have told me. For me, the lion seems to come more directly forward in most cases, so it's more that stern, regal kind of, confident appearance that he puts off. Okay? All right, now next we're going to move down into the basic information for this individual Goetic spirit. His rank is prince, though some literary sources list him as a earl, interestingly enough. This is one of those where we get conflicting information. But from my research, more often than not, he's referred to as a prince. So that's what I usually have him down. That is what I have him in my notes, personally. The metal most associated with him is tin. The planet most associated with him would be Jupiter. The color, blue. And the element would be water. Nice and easy there, really, if you think about it. And before we go ahead and talk about areas that he can help you and work with, let's go ahead and show his sigil, which we'll make sure is up here on the screen. Okay? Got that? Good. Now we got a good sigil. All right. Areas that this particular entity is skilled at helping. In my research and other magicians I've spoken with, we have found out he is actually pretty good at helping to help one proceed and stand one's ground when their authority is challenged. Yes, so he can actually give you the courage and the steadfastness to hold your ground when your authority in a matter or something that you believe in is being challenged. This can be helpful to a lot of people. I know a lot of people have trouble standing their ground on issues. This can be an absolute fantastic use for this entity. The next thing people have had good success with is to aid in convincing others who do not trust you. Think about that, okay? He can help you to convince people of your argument, whatever it is you're trying to convince them of, to help you or to believe you or that your path is the correct path, even if they don't trust you. Anytime we've had to have a conversation with someone who, for whatever reason, doesn't trust us, maybe we've earned it, maybe we haven't, but and they're worried about how we're going to proceed. Ipos is actually really good at helping them see our point of view, even though they don't trust us. Remember that. Now, this isn't taking their will. You still have to do the talking. You still have to convince. But he can actually hedge it. He removes the fact. It's more like he takes away the bias from their distrust. So you still have to make a valid argument after that. Does that make sense? All right, next. He can help you be more convincing and eloquent so that those who hear your argument or point are more charmed and more convinced. So this adds on to the last one, because remember we said you still had to make a valid argument even though he removes the biased. Now he's helping you to better make that argument. So there you go. And this one is one that I myself have used a lot when it comes to that. You all have heard me refer to myself as that crazy redneck or a lot of things. I do not do public speaking well. I get stage fright. So working with Ipos and helping me to be more articulate, more elegant in presenting a case and whatnot, or doing a workshop, those kinds of things, is pretty helpful from time to time. These days, depending on how I'm doing it, if I can get down, get in front of the camera, and start speaking to the class and just kind of fall into a groove like I'm talking to a group of friends, I tend to do okay and do pretty well in that case. But the getting out there and getting to that point, that's the rough part. And if any of you has ever seen me in a live class, you can usually tell the first 5 minutes or so, there's like this transition period where I'm still trying to forget I'm in front of a camera or a group or the like. So it's very helpful. All right. Ipos can also help to build up one's personal wit and humor to be more charismatic. So this is a nice one. I know several individuals in my life who have used humor and charisma to help them better in relationships, and it does help, let's be honest. Humor goes a long way to whether or not we can tolerate being around a person. And sometimes humor is actually the reason we can't tolerate being around a person. So whether your jokes are running people off or you don't have jokes to be entertaining, Ipos can help in either way to balance it out and make it more charismatic. I've even known a few people who seek to be professional comedians work with Ipos on their actual career path and did quite well, actually. One of them, I'm pretty sure, last I heard, she was still doing shows professionally. Whether she still is now, I don't know. I've lost contact. But there for a while, she was living her dream. And finally, this is one I know a lot of people utilize with Ipos. Help sort out one's confusion. Okay? Let's be honest. In life, there's times when the situation's just muddied. We don't know what to think. Everything's so confusing. We've been just shotgunned with so much information and facts we don't know which way's up. And we just want to be able to clear the fog and try to understand the situation, understand what's going on, where we can make a difference genuinely as opposed to just floundering about. And we just want to remove the confusion. This happens in practically every aspect of life in one way or another. In any aspect where that confusion is clouding the path forward, the situation, or even your ability to move past it, Ipos can help to sort through the confusion. This is invaluable in my mind. I can't count the number of times when life just got to be a bit much. Emotionally, mentally, whatever. It just got to be a bit much. And Ipos was definitely an entity I could reach out for, talk to, let him know I have hit this point. The water is so muddy, I don't know which way to go. And I need to get moving. I can't just stay where I'm at and do nothing. And he helped me sort through the confusion, and quite quickly, I might add. Usually that confusion, I've seen it for me last a month before I could finally sort it out and get back on track, in some cases longer, where Ipos, even like in the worst of situations, he's helped me clear that stuff up in like a week. Invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like everything's just a bit much, Ipos can definitely help you with that particular one, and help clear out confusion. Love that one. All right, cool. Those are the things that Ipos is really good at helping with that I have found through my practice as well as speaking with other magicians. Which then brings us to the UN. Everybody loves to hear these UNs, and apparently y'all love to hear me pronounce them, so cool. All right, so this one's pretty easy. I'll make sure it's up here on the screen, by the way, as I say it, so you guys can read it, not just trust my pronunciation. This one is Disa on Ipos AR. Dasa 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 on Ipos Air. Not a bad one. I trip over at Dasa a little bit, but not a bad one. Now, I have covered a little bit of my experiences with this spirit already. Honestly, I've enjoyed working with Ipos anytime that I have. He does tend to show up more humanoid to me than some of the others. The wings seem to be a constant. I'm trying to think of a time when I don't remember seeing the wings. They were definitely more of a constant. I'll be honest, every time he's been around, he has kind of the same presence that I would expect an archangel to have, almost perfectly. And that makes sense because he does deal very much with order. If you look at what he's doing and you look at what he's working in, he is ordering situations. Like that last one, confusion. Confusion is a complete lack of order. There's no direction. There's no nothing. He actually helps to put things in order so you can see that direction and map out your course. So this definitely does not fit the more chaotic side. This fits the more orderly side that we think of when we think of angels. And you'll also notice that most of his stuff is very compassionate and subtle. So he is taking that subtlety as well. In all aspects, outside the fact that people want to label this entity as a demon just because it's in the air as Goetia, if I bumped into Ipos with no previous existing knowledge, I would think him an angel, point blank. And he's not the only one in the Goetia. We have to remember the Goetic book and the Goetic spirits are not demons. These are entities that are far more complex than that. And some of them, yes, some of them would be categorized as demons. Some of them would easily be categorized as angels. We also have to remember that angels and demons are the exact same entities. One side's just more order, one side's more chaos in general. That's it. They're still the same category. So that's also something we have to remember. But Ipos for me has always been fantastic to work with. Definitely sorting out confusion, definitely helping with articulation and speech in crowds and whatnot. I mean, even to this day, you all can catch me. I get stumbling a bit on camera from time to time during live streams and even recordings. I think I've done a few times here. But Ipos can actually really, really help with those things. Out of these two, out of the things in here, I think the two for me personally that I find the most valuable to most people is the first and last one. The ability to stand one's ground on something we truly believe in and something we want to put forward and try to make a difference in, I think is invaluable. I think it's really great to learn and be able to stand one's ground on something we believe in. And of course, the ability to remove confusion when life is just throwing so much at us we don't know which way is up, and to be able to clear that confusion up a little bit so that we can actually get back on track, invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. For anyone seeking self-mastery and self-empowerment, the ability to remove that confusion, it is a blessing that cannot be overstated. All right. This has been a quick video on the 22nd Spirit of the Goetia Ipos. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any need for any of these things we've talked about, I would recommend reaching out to Ipos and working with him, especially to help remove some of that confusion. Like we said, I think you'll really enjoy working with Ipos. And until next time, I'm Drake. This has been Working Dragon Mystic. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.